Right now, you could walk into a forest, find a lion, and it would leave. Not because you're armed, not because you're loud, because somewhere in that lion's nervous system, something older than memory says, "Don't touch that thing." And the lion listens. You've spent your whole life feeling ordinary, soft, slow, no claws, no venom, no natural armor. You get cold in winter, you bruise easily, you'd lose a foot race to almost anything that wanted to catch you. But every wild animal on Earth is afraid of you, instinctively, genetically. Even animals that have never seen a human being in their lives still flinch at the sound of your voice. The question isn't how you survived the deadliest predators. The question is what exactly you became. The story most of us carry about ancient humans is one of constant terror. Huddled in the dark, prey as often as predator. Outmatched by larger, faster, sharper things at every turn. It's a compelling image, the frail, naked ape, surviving by luck and cleverness alone. It's also wrong. The evidence now points somewhere different. Not to a species that barely survived, but to a species so effective at neutralizing threats that it rewired the fear responses of every other animal on Earth. Permanently. In 2023, Liana Zanet at Western University published a study in Conservation Letters in which recordings of human voices, lion roars, dogs barking, and gunshots were played back to wildlife across multiple ecosystems. 95% of species tested showed the strongest fear response to one sound. Not the lion, not the gunshot, the human voice. The mechanism behind that result goes back hundreds of thousands of years, and the answer changes everything you think you know about what your body is actually built to do. But what that mechanism is, that's not what you'd expect. Picture the Kalahari Desert. Midday. The sun is a physical weight pressing down on cracked red earth. A group of sand hunters has been following a kudu, a large antelope, for 3 hours. They're not sprinting. They're jogging, steadily, relentlessly. The kudu bolts ahead, disappears, and they track it by footprint and bent grass and the faint trembling of disturbed dust. Then they find it again, and it bolts again, and they keep jogging. The kudu is faster than any of them. It will always be faster than any of them, but it cannot cool itself while it runs. Its entire cooling system, panting, shuts down the moment it goes to full speed. So, every time it sprints away, its core body temperature rises. The hunters know this. They have always known this. After 3 hours, sometimes 4, sometimes 5, the kudu stops. Its legs begin to buckle. Its temperature has climbed past the point its body can tolerate. It stands in the open, shaking, and it waits. This is persistence hunting. Daniel Lieberman at Harvard University has spent decades documenting it. In his 2013 book, The Story of the Human Body, Lieberman lays out the anatomy. Humans have between 2 and 5 million sweat glands, more than any other mammal alive. We can run and cool ourselves simultaneously, something almost no other creature on Earth can do. The sand people of the Kalahari still practice this today, using the same biology their ancestors used 2 million years ago. Think about that for a second. Your sweat glands are not a design flaw. They are a weapon. But running was only the beginning, because ancient humans had another weapon, one that no other animal on Earth has ever evolved. In 2013, Neil Roach at Harvard University published findings in the journal Nature that reframed human anatomy entirely. He was studying the shoulder, specifically why the human shoulder stores and releases elastic energy the way it does, a mechanism found in no other primate. His conclusion: the human shoulder evolved for one purpose: throwing. Humans can throw objects at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour. No other animal on Earth comes close. Homo erectus was doing this roughly 2 million years ago, hurling sharpened rocks and fire-hardened sticks at anything that threatened the group. A single thrown rock is painful. A coordinated group of 15 humans throwing rocks is a sustained, targeted bombardment that no predator's cost-benefit calculation survives. Lions hunt what they can reliably catch and kill without serious injury. A group of humans that throws back breaks that calculation immediately. The shoulder wasn't just a tool. It was a deterrent. It changed what predators were willing to attempt. But that's not the strangest part. That thing is fire. Wonderwork Cave, South Africa. Francesco Berna of Boston University analyzed deposits there and published in PNAS in 2012. Controlled fire use dating back between 1 million and 1.5 million years, the earliest known record. By 400,000 years ago, at Qasim Cave in Israel, fire was in regular, deliberate, sustained use. Before fire, ancient humans operated in daylight and sheltered at night, the same vulnerability window that every other prey animal on Earth exploits. Night belonged to the large cats, the hyenas, the predators built for darkness. And then fire changed that permanently. No large predator approaches an open flame willingly. Not lions, not leopards, not the giant short-faced bears that once ranged across 3 continents, the largest terrestrial mammalian carnivores to walk the Earth, standing over 11 feet tall at the shoulder. A fire at the edge of a camp isn't just warmth. It's a wall. Here is the counterintuitive fact, and it's the one that doesn't leave you. Before fire, humans were vulnerable at night. After fire, humans owned the night. One behavioral shift, and the entire predator-prey dynamic on the African savanna inverted. And it wasn't fire alone. Richard Wrangham at Harvard University, whose 2019 book, The Goodness Paradox, examines the relationship between human cooperation and human violence, identified something that multiplied all of it. A single human, Wrangham argues, is genuinely weak, slow, unarmored, fragile compared to the animals sharing its environment. But a coordinated group of 15 to 20 humans, armed with rocks, fire, and the social structure to act in concert, that is the most dangerous thing on the savanna. The social structure itself was the weapon. Archaeological kill sites, locations where ancient humans drove entire herds off cliffs or coordinated mass ambushes, documented at sites like La Côte de Saint-Brelade in Jersey, where Neanderthals herded mammoths and woolly rhinoceroses off a headland at least 2 separate times, show this was not improvised. It was organized, strategic, scalable. Paul Serino at the University of Chicago has documented the sudden, continent-wide disappearance of megafauna species correlating directly with the spread of coordinated human hunters, animals that had survived ice ages, tectonic shifts, and volcanic winters, gone within a few thousand years of human contact. Not because of climate, because of the group. The apex predator wasn't one extraordinary individual. It was the group. You are part of that group. Right now, sitting there, tired, maybe slightly cold. You are carrying all of it. Under your skin, between 2 and 5 million sweat glands that your ancestors used to run animals to death across open desert. Your shoulder stores elastic energy in a configuration that evolved for throwing at speeds no other primate can reach. Every wild animal on Earth shows a stronger fear response to your voice than to a lion's roar. You didn't earn this. You inherited it. 300,000 years of your ancestors being the most effective, most coordinated, most relentlessly persistent hunters on this planet have been compressed into the body you woke up in this morning. That's the body you're in. And it was made for something most people never need to know about. The most dangerous predator that ever lived doesn't look like a predator at all. It looks like you, but there's one thing the anatomy can't tell you. And it's the thing that stays. Here is where the science gets honest with itself. The honest answer is that we don't fully know when the tipping point happened, the moment the balance shifted from ancient humans being genuinely threatened to being genuinely dominant. The archaeological record is patchy. Fire evidence appears at different sites at wildly different times. Persistence hunting leaves almost no trace. The coordination that made groups deadly is visible only in its outcomes, the kill sites, the carved bones, the suddenly empty ecosystems, not in the moment it was first assembled. And there's a deeper question the data cannot reach. What did it cost, psychologically? To be simultaneously prey and predator, to carry both the fear and the tools to end it, to coordinate violence at a scale no other primate attempts, and to do it well enough that the fear you generated outlasted every individual who generated it. encoding itself into the nervous systems of animals that would be born millions of years later on different continents, never having seen a human face. We can map the anatomy. We can date the fires. What we cannot fully access is what it felt like to be human in that moment. Aware enough to be terrified, capable enough to win anyway, and already becoming something that everything else on Earth would learn to fear. That question doesn't have an answer. And I think that's the one that stays with you. That lion in the forest, the one that would walk away from you, isn't making a calculated decision. It isn't reasoning through your shoulder mechanics or your sweat gland count. Something much older is running, a response laid down across hundreds of thousands of encounters, encoded into its nervous system before it was born, passed from generation to generation like a warning written in biology. You are that warning, not because of what you carry in your hands, because of what you carry in your body, your sweat, your shoulder, your instinct to find others and hold the line together. Your ancestors didn't survive the deadliest predators. They became something worse. You already are.